Oh my God, there's a young moose in the trail. I don't know what to do. Oh yeah, there you go. There's another sign. Mount Kineo Trail. This way. Oh, I wonder if this is a road and there's a parking lot at the end of it or something. Let's take a look. But I'm going this way. And this Mount Kineo Trail Road, or Kineo Trail Road, is just a half-mile spur road off of Hubbard Brook Road that leads to the trailhead. So this is definitely the way I should be going. However, it is decidedly more green than the trail I was just on. Fall has just begun to touch here. Alright, I've reached the end of the spur road and now I'm heading up onto the trail, Mount Kineo Trail, where I will be going as far as the Donkey Hill Cutoff. So 3.5 miles. There at some point there is an intersection with the Snowmobile Trail. I think at 1.2 miles in. Oh, at high land. 1.2. So, because I'm looking at the trail guide goes backwards. Or I'm going backwards from where the trail guide is, so I had to subtract. But I think it said at 2.8, and then 4.0 is when you come out here, I think. So I think it was 1.2 is when the Snowmobile Trail branches off. So I gotta be looking, paying attention at that point, so I don't accidentally take the wrong trail like I did a few days ago. Well, this little trail is quite steep. I'm really hoofing it up here. So it drives down because there's a stream here down there. But then I climb up and go nearly, it's almost like a more than 45-degree angle there. 50, 60 degrees. It's almost straight up. It's shockingly steep, making me work for it today. Got some mucky areas with some moss-covered stones, making for slippery footing and ankle-deep mud. That's fun. More muddy trail ahead. Looks grassy. Oh, I bet that's where the Snowmobile Trail combines. I didn't even notice that till just now. Let's see. Nope, not the Snowmobile Trail, just a marshy, muddy, grassy area with more logs for stepping stones, which so far the logs have all been pretty rotten. So they're almost went into the mud a few times on my own. Some sort of camera, I think. I think it's motion detector. The lights turn on and it captures wildlife. It's been there a while based on the cobwebs, but I wonder what it's for. Oh well, onwards and upwards. Alright, I think I'm at the height of land here, because I came up here and it looks like I start to go down. So this is, well, it's not a peak, but it's my peak, at least for today. I have another up and down section, but it's not going to be as tall as this one was. So this was my highest elevation today. Alright, so I've had to pee for like half an hour, but I've been so afraid to leave the trail because look at this trail. Like, that's the trail. You can hardly tell that's the trail compared to what's around it. So I was so afraid if I left it, I wouldn't be able to find it again. So I've just been holding it, but fortunately I just came across this big tree that had fallen down and went into the woods. So I was able to like use that as a guide. And even as I was coming out of the woods back towards the trail, like I was literally, the only reason I knew I was on the trail is because I'd left my backpack there at the end of that tree. So it's like, I'm glad I was able to use that as a marker, because I would not have been able to find it otherwise. Well, coming down, it was very steep there for a while. Just as steep as it was going up. But it's starting to calm down a little bit. I think in like not a quarter mile, half a mile, I have some stream crossings, and then I think like in a mile and a half, I get to the donkey something cutoff. All right, we finally made it to the Snowmobile Trail. Now I have to figure out what direction to go. So let me consult my map. So there's a bridge over this, and I bet this is beautiful when there's lots of water, creating waterfalls, cascades. Over here it goes on, splits, got some trees down, but I bet it's just in the springtime when the snow's melting. I bet this is gorgeous. Also, I nearly wiped it on this bridge because it's super slippery because it's wet and mildewy. I stepped on it and stepped on a little stake and it just went whoop and slid right across. But I didn't go down. It's so interesting to go from this really narrow, barely even tell it's a trail in the woods, to suddenly this wide, almost road-like trail. It's very pretty though, with all the leaves down on it. And then most of the trees are either still green or just a yellow, so it just seems bright, golden. There's like a field here or a marsh or something, but look, get a view of the colors on this hill over here. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. The sun's out. Brief golden sunshine. Here's a little bridge with a clearing, so I get a better view of that hill. Look at it. Oh my God, there's a young moose in the trail. I don't know what to do. All right, so I just crossed this bridge, and the Snowmobile Trail continues on to the right of me, but here's this trail. So somewhere is the Donkey Hill Cutoff. Okay, so Mount Kineo Trail crosses, and then Donkey Hill goes straight ahead. So I did notice there was a little bit of a trail right here. Okay, so this must be it. Donkey Hill Cutoff. So that was the end of Mount Kineo. Ended with a young moose who got very curious. He started walking towards me, so I started to freak out. So I started playing music loudly on my phone. So he got to experience The Greatest Showman. And then I picked up a large branch that still had like tree leaves on it that had fallen. And only then did he scurry off into the woods. So that was interesting, but that's the first time I've ever seen a moose. A baby moose, but a moose nonetheless. So the Donkey Hill Cutoff, just been sort of skirting along this marshy area here. It's a breeze. The trail's really pretty, covered in all the colored leaves. I keep getting these beautiful glimpses of the trees and the hill over there. But what's getting me is, so I have like this clearing, got a marsh like right here in front of me, and then a clearing, and then on the other side of that, there's a large clearing. So I'm like wondering, is on the other side, is there some sort of large pond or lake or something, or meadow? I'll have to look it up on the map. Great little clearing, marshy area. Just saw my first people on the trail. They're probably doing the small loop Oh, tripping over rocks. There's a trail sign. So that was the end of Donkey Hill Cutoff. So 3 ponds then goes that way, because that's really clear. Good grief. All right, well. Ooh, there's a large pond here, though. Must be crossing it at some point. Well, here's one of the 3 ponds of the 3 Ponds Trail. Oh, look at the trees. Gosh, even a little bit of blue sky. Beautiful day. So usually I like to highlight any spur trails that lead to views or something when I'm grabbing the guidebook so I don't miss them, but I totally missed this one. So I was just standing here going like, all right, well clearly there's a fork. I'm supposed to go that way. But this is clearly a trail, so I just looked at it, referenced it again, and sure enough, there's a spur trail that goes 80 yards to a view of one of the ponds. So here we go. This is a great view for sure. I'm going to have a seat and have a snack. Well, there's the last pond. It's all the way over there. This is a big marshy area that feeds it. And the trail goes through it. So it's already getting very squishy. I'm pretty sure there was something about a trail, an unmarked redirect. But I don't know if I'll be able to find it. So we'll see how it goes. Well, this is normally a brook, but it's got some pools pretty. I was crossing down there, but I decided to walk up, get a better look at it. Just standing pools now. Alright, another Snowmobile Trail. It's a nice bridge on it. I saw the bridge coming up, so I was walking up the trail and I was like, oh, there's nothing about bridges in my guide. That's because I'm just crossing the Snowmobile Trail. However, the guide does say, from here on out, take care because the trail gets hard to follow. And considering how much trouble I've had so far in this trail following it, this concerns me. So, we'll see how well I do. Well, the guidebook wasn't kidding. I went all of 20 feet before I'm standing there scratching my head trying to figure out where the trail goes. So that's where I just came up. And then this is where I go next. And this part, seems pretty clear, but who knows how for long. I'll probably get to the top there and, again, have no idea where I'm going. Look at this tree. So it has, I don't know if it fell over, it split or something, but it didn't let it stop it because it just kept right on growing. And up it goes. So just right across the trail, put down roots. Persistent little tree. Actually, persistent big tree. And it goes all the way up there. Well, the trail just got interesting here because the trees, there's less trees, but a lot of underbrush. So I feel more like I'm walking through a meadow than I am through the woods. Well, then my second peak, if you can call it that. I can see a little bit here. I bet in a week or two, you'll have a clear view here because all these leaves will be gone. But for now, just glimpses of a mountain over there. I have no idea what direction I'm facing, so I can't even tell you what mountain it is. Let me think. Stinson, maybe? I'd have to look at a map. I go off somewhere over here. Yeah, this has been my trail so far. Barely recognizable as one. Made even worse by all the fallen leaves. I thought I was crossing another snowmobile trail, but I guess this is an old logging area. Old logging trail. Road. Anything from up there? There have been some spots where the trail has been hard to follow. But I've managed to stay on it. And it's been getting easier as I get closer to the bottom. Well, this isn't the end of the trail, but it joins up with a snowmobile trail for this last, I think, like 0.7, 0.8 miles. I rejoined the juncture where I started. So I know this is a snowmobile trail, but this is all fresh dirt. This has just been recently dug up, or I don't know, what, fresh dirt laid down or expanded or something. So that's interesting. Maybe they're just widening it, or I don't know. Because this part looks a little more worn. This is not fresh. It's got grass and stuff, weeds that the other part did not have. It was all fresh dirt. Pretty leaf-lined trail or road. Well, here we are. Back at the first fork I took. Now it's just time to head back to the car.